It's alright. Do you want to know that now or later?
Whenever you like.
There is a tap on the door, by the way. A tap on the door.
All right. I think I'm closest, aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
I will go get it.
I didn't do anything.
You open the door, and at first you look through and you don't see anyone. You're like, "Who? That's funny. I thought I heard a knock." And then you look around and you look down on the ground, and on the ground is an owl.
Oh, baby! Yeah, she will lovingly pick Acorn up.
You pick
How
Acorn
is he?
up. Acorn starts hooting at you. You feel like Acorn has a lot to say, but without his companion, you won't be able to translate very much what she has to say, unfortunately.
Right. He says...
Can't Kenneth speak to owls?
Yes.
I can speak to any animal, not just owls.
Fantastic.
Hi.
As I feel my friend has much to report.
Alright. I will use my staff to cast Speak with Animals. Ta-da!
Yay!
Yeah!
The owl speaks again. Again, I think I said that she sounds like Angela Lansbury, Mrs. Potts. That's her voice.
Oh. The murder she wrote.
I bring news.
Yes, this is it.
I spent the night flying over to the continent, and I've at least located where your friend Eric is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's been through a lot of changes, you see, dear.
Oh.
His skin is very dark, and he's starting to grow facial hair.
Oh, I see. Okay. That's not good. Anything else?
He seems to be surrounded by some sort of barrier.
A barrier. Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get a very close look at everything else that's within the barrier, but I saw a lot of movement, in addition to your brother.
All right. Thank you, Acorn.
Barrier,
Okay.
Hugh says.
Hmm?
He walks over to a side of the room where the necropolis is. All right, so he will point to where the necropolis is, and you guys will see this layout in front of you.
Oh my
God.
So
what are those icons? The blue icons?
Okay, so to explain the ones that are here, you mean? Like there's ones here?
Yeah.
Those look like spirits.
Okay.
They're floating spirits. Now this
same kind that was like draining us before, or different?
They look slightly different. They look slightly different from the ones that... They look related to them, though. Like, they might have similar abilities, but not exactly the same type.
Okay.
The big glowing thing in the center looks like some sort of a big, massive force field. The source of the force field seems to be a star-shaped object in the center. And it seems to be taking energy from 5 different points around this floating island. And each of the 5 different points, if you look very carefully, are glowing yellow, green, blue, red, yellow, and white, which for all of you should feel familiar. In fact, when you focus on it, your marks start to tingle. Each of these different glowing spheres seems to be guarded by a revenant apiece.
Yay!
Oh, those are my favorite.
Yeah.
So it would look like once we take each of those power sources, the barrier goes down.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But there doesn't seem to be any way for the revenants to move off of their respective areas, but they could drag us to theirs.
Right. With their hook things.
Also, if this is going to be in the middle of half fade, half not fade, I don't feel good assuming that.
Yeah, and just saying, being hooked by the hook things isn't really fun.
Right.
I had a bad experience once. Can we assume that, as a group, that the power sources are our braces?
Yeah.
It seems so.
Most
Fair
likely.
assumption.
So we're going to need to get those back.
Yes.
I feel like we'd stand a better chance if we tried to stick together and do it one at a time, but the revenants will likely try to tear us from each other.
Yeah.
Hark, how
Maybe.
far is the distance between each power source? I mean, can their chains reach that far? I'm just trying to get a...
You doubt that they'll be able to reach that far? It's doubtful.
Okay.
They're not that long.
Never mind then.
Violetta's... Go ahead.
I think that should be our plan then, because I feel like with each bracer we obtain, we'll get stronger.
Probably.
Violetta is looking at this very carefully, and she says, they're all... The way that they're connected, though, I wonder... Hugh, how much more detail can you get from this? And Hugh says, I'm afraid that's all I can show you. I can personally get a better glimpse of it as in beyond just through the painting, through the illustration, but I don't think I can necessarily see anything beyond what you see here. So you can kind of see it as an updated vision. Yes, almost as if I was there myself, as if I was present there myself. So you might be able to scan them when you're looking at them. I don't know if that works. What if somebody saw it through you? I don't understand. I would be able to see what you see, and if that's the case, in theory, if I had the Eye of Andraste, we might be able to do a little bit more reconnaissance without actually having to physically be there.
Always helpful.
That sounds like a stretch, but I'm willing to try.
Any chance he can see you while you're seeing him?
Yes, there is a chance.
Is there anything we can do to make that safer?
I don't know. Do you have a suggestion?
Don't know. Protection magic wasn't really my thing. I do have a spirit I can call on to protect you. I met her. She's pretty cool. She's, I could do that. Do you think that would help? I don't know.
It could.
Okay.
Could I create something, Hawk? With enough time, would I be able to make something that would help?
What would you like to make?
Like,
Depends on what it is.
Invisibility or something? Something that, or a non-detection of some kind?
You could. See, the thing is, he's not physically going to be there, so there isn't a physical thing to make invisible. Mm-hmm. It's more like I thought
maybe something more like non-detection, like something that kind of escapes perception.
Do you have the skills to make something like that, do you think? I know that you're good with poisons.
I'm thinking that I still have some of the experimental pieces that Theo did with Kenna. I was wondering if he could alter some components in those to make it to give it the effect that it needs. He had enough time to work on it. He has the herbalism skill, if that helps, the talent.
Yeah, it's you more need the potion making skill at that point if you're trying to do something all around that, which means you can still roll a potion making skill roll. It's just I don't think if you have the focus, you won't get a bonus on it.
Okay. Well, I mean, if it's still cunning, which I think it is, then I mean,
then you have a chance.
Yeah, the skills are applicable, so I could try to make something to hide, to make them escape perception.
Mm-hmm.
It might take some time, but I'm willing to try.
That could work.
I have
How much
character
time?
question.
Go ahead.
Is Gerard
What's that,
still
Kat?
on the boat?
Connor will say, Gerard, I think, went off to go find his father.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he came with us. Darn it. Never mind. That would have been kind of helpful.
Yeah, Samson and Lithia didn't stick around either. How inconsiderate.
I
Oh
know.
my god. What was she about to ask? How much time would this take? If I remember correctly, things started going very downhill for me when I started growing stubble.
You'll know if you can be successful after an hour. You'll know if it's going right or wrong after an hour. To answer your question, Theobin, if you're trying to attempt to make this potion.
Okay, I would need an hour, but if it works, there could be a good payoff.
Okay.
That's fine. I started going downhill, I want to say within a couple of days, so I don't think an hour. I feel good about an hour.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, I would like to help by going to the mirror and checking to see if I can open the vault or not. If that's all right with everyone?
Sure.
Yeah. Do you need an added shield?
I can have one. I won't mind. I should be safe in there, but sure.
All right.
I'm
Okay.
really just going in to see if I can open the vault. I'm
Okay.
not.
While you're doing that, go ahead and roll your potion making skill, Theobin.
Okay, so pure cunning.
Yes, you have one shot at this. And you're going to have to roll
Okay.
really well.
Should I bless him before I leave?
15. That's not a very good roll, unfortunately.
Aww.
Ooh, no, it
But
isn't.
you'll know after an hour that it doesn't quite work. It won't work. It's a good try, though.
Does it
Very
make
good.
things like partially? Does it make it maybe just harder, not effect at all? Like,
If it weren't for the
Kind of-
fact that you rolled 2 1s, I mean, you rolled 2 1s, that's kind of... I guess that's one stunt point, but... I guess it's not going to hurt. If he drinks it, and it's not going to hurt him if he drinks it.
Small
will it have,
favors.
like, will it have like any effects at all, or is it just like?
I don't... You doubt that it will, but like I said, you can still drink it anyway and see what happens. Meanwhile, Andrea and... Is it just Andrea, or is somebody coming with her?
I'm going with.
You're going with. Okay, Andrea, you can easily use the wand to open up the portal.
All right, boss
Open up the
Rick.
mirror.
So I'm like, all right, boss Rick, here we go. And I open it and cool.
You go over to the vault and you will try to open the vault with the wand, but it doesn't seem to be working. If you remember, you didn't even have your bracers in order to go into the vault. Therefore, the bracers were not what opened the vault. It was everybody's marks. It was your marks.
Okay.
You didn't have the bracers to open the vault.
Oops. Forgot about that. But no.
So it has to be all 5 of you. With your marks, specifically.
Okay, well, that makes me feel better that he didn't get it, right?
In theory.
Supposedly, I don't think he can get in there unless he's got our marks, which
Right.
mine's still on my back, right?
Let's see it.
Even
All right,
then,
check it.
even then,
Yeah, there.
technically it's marked on your back, but it's marked on your soul more than just your body. It's on your soul.
I don't know about you,
Hmm.
but I don't know what your time in that weird half fade was or not. But I was not gone 30 days but apparently I was gone for 30 days. Is this something that is concerning?
It was just about 30 days, yeah. It didn't feel like it. Because the Fade does weird things with time.
Right.
Cedric used my
Cedric.
yeah, he used my my brain just stopped working. Hannah, help! What was
Phylactery.
my thing? The blood
Phylactery.
I did just all right. Cedric used my phylactery to find me, and
Good. All right.
and I hung out with the Black King for a while. He took an odd shine to me right away, like we'd met before, but I don't know.
Maybe you have.
Maybe. And
All right.
and we met a young girl, and the poor thing didn't know who or what she was. I promised to help her, and hopefully she can meet us soon. Right now she's helping Nathan, but soon she should come to us. Weird thing is, she's actually the one who brought back Cedric. And I'm the one who killed him, so it's just kind of weird.
I have a feeling that all of these, none of this is coincidence.
Oh,
you've met, you've met who you've met. We've met each other again. I met Lithia, Shala, and
yeah, that's cool.
And the kid that I saved back at when the archdemon was still alive. None of this is coincidence.
Can be. Weirder still. Liam knew the girl that we were talking to.
Huh.
Yeah, it gets more and more coincidences, really.
More and more questions.
She'll come home soon, hopefully, and yeah, but we were okay. We really were.
Good.
How about you? It had to be really weird for you to be interested for that long. Like me, I go there every day.
Yeah, just it was not nice. I understand now why the chant tries to teach everyone that you go mad, because up is down and left is right, and that was supposedly how the Maker wanted things to be, and it was horrible, and I do not envy you at all. Well, no, I suppose I do envy you just a tiny bit, just because you're comfortable in that, because it feels like petting a cat in the wrong direction. Everything about it feels wrong.
Yeah, and you might get scratched for doing that sort of thing.
Yes.
But I know, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone who isn't trained to do it. You weren't tempted while you were there, were you?
No, not really. But then
That's
again,
good.
really, should that really surprise you?
No,
There were no chocolate demons.
That's true, but I mean, they tempt me every day. I just, shrug them off. But they're there. They're always there, and they always want you. It can be exhausting at times, but that's why we meditate, and that's why we do those mental exercises.
Of course. It doesn't surprise me at all that you that you deal with this on top of everything else every single day. But
yeah.
it's inspiring, and it is a piece of you I didn't understand.
Oh. I met Aaron Cobb. Again. The guy who sold me in slavery. Again.
How did that work out?
He was someone's lackey.
Worked out well then.
he was lower than dirt, and it felt better than it should have. So.
Yeah, I'm never gonna fault you for taking that tiny little piece of pleasure for yourself.
But he's still alive. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, the Black King was going into pretty dangerous areas, and he was bringing that fool with him. So there's a good chance he's not, but he was when I left him. So.
I'm not going to ever get used to walking, talking Darkspawn. But they've more than proven themselves.
Yeah. But the racism is completely understood. It's not like being afraid of someone because they're from Navarra. We've been being killed by Darkspawn for centuries. It's understandable.
Yes.
It's just something that, we know better than now. We specifically, but most people aren't going to know that. Not in our lifetimes.
Probably not. It's going to take a lot of work for people to come to that kind of understanding that it's a grand quest.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't like asking this question, but
I don't know what you're going to ask. So.
Lucky for you. I believe in preparation.
I do too. Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm not, barreling forward, which happens.
Yeah. Logic before emotion. Yes, absolutely.
I'll have to keep working on that.
So what's the question, love?
The question. I already asked Theo what, in case the worst happens, what he'd like to see happen with Rosie.
Right.
I feel I should ask the same of you. You are finally free.
Yes.
Is there anything you need of me in case the worst happens?
To me?
Yes. Because, as I promised Theobin, I'm not bringing anyone back again. I can't.
Good. I'd be pissed at you if you did. Just... I'm not. To be honest, I've always known I'm probably going to die young. I've never really. Having something to die for is an easy thing. Everyone has something they would die for. Recently, I've learned that I have a reason to live too. And I have someone I'd like to live for. And yeah, well, I mean, either way.
No.
Either way, I'm happy right now, and I am content. Should I fall, I've lived a good life. I would ask that you pray for me, and you scatter me over the waters. And that's all. I have no unfinished business. I've already said what needs to be said.
Of course you have. Except, of course, but to tell your sister more. You can't drop that on me and not expect me to take care of my own sister.
I've already... Well, I haven't. Oh, I've said...
You are becoming one of those dandelion girls.
You take that back. You're gross.
Not anymore. I got rid of the gross. See, smooth as a baby.
Girls. Dandelion girls. What does...
Flittering and fluttering and...
I am not. That's horrible and gross.
Thanks.
I told Cedric last night that I love him.
About damn time.
What do you mean, about damn time? I don't know. So you could...
Every minute of every second that we are together is a gift. But then again, I suppose I can't talk, can I?
I don't understand. About damn time, what do you mean? I am sure I've been very... I'm sure I wasn't transparent.
You weren't. You weren't at all.
Okay.
I'm glad you've connected with someone. And if it was someone... I'm glad it was him.
Really?
Yeah.
I was a little worried about telling you, because you two don't always get along.
No, we don't. And if he ever mistreats you, I will hunt him down. But he knows this. But...
He knows I would, too.
Yeah, I think he has more to fear from you than he does from me. But no, I don't agree with him on quite a few points. But we both share a love of you, I guess. And that makes
We're
it...
family.
Yes.
All of us.
Yes.
No. But yeah.
You're gonna make pretty babies. I'm just saying. No expectations. Don't leave orphans. You don't want to start this entire thing over again, do you?
Oh God. To be honest, I don't even. I mean, usually circle mages aren't allowed to have children. Have a say.
Well,
so that's probably
neither are mages allowed to be queen, and yet.
Yeah, but I'll be living in a circle, most likely, and that means if I were to have a child, they would take it away. So. Yeah. I would need a lot of permission for that to work out. Like a lot.
As it happens, you happen to know a great number of very powerful people.
It's really
weird. But
weird.
I'm getting ahead of myself on that. I'm sorry.
It's really weird to even think about because it's not really something I ever really thought was ever going to be in the cards or want to be in the cards. But maybe someday, we do have friends. It's possible we could get permission.
The queen is a mage.
I just said that. She gets scared.
It's possible. It's just.
I'm not serious, sister.
You are serious, though, a little bit.
Family is important to me, absolutely. But your purpose in life is not to get married and make the maker's babies. Follow Like I said, every moment's a gift. Treasure it. There should be no expectations for children. There shouldn't be.
Yes, probably not. No, not for a long time, and only if we get permission.
Have I not drilled enough rebelliousness into you from your childhood?
You never could. I was the good one.
I know.
And I'm okay with doing it by the books. I'm in love with the Templar, for crying out loud. I can't exactly break the rules.
Well, until the rules themselves break.
I have to like really follow the rules in order to get permission for this to be allowed at all. So. All right.
You know everything that I would possibly say to you in answer to that, so I will just.
I'm dealing with
nod. I will trust to your ability, and I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, if we're going to retrieve Eric, we're going to need the rest of the Guardians.
Yeah, we are. Well, the day moves on, and she offers her elbow. Shall we?
Shall, and I'll take it.
So Pew will call Pew into the room he's in. As per usual, he'll be in his little brewing quarters.
Robin, I see you're busy yourself, making preparations. Good for you.
It's good to feel useful. How are you?
I'm feeling well rested. Cedric knew what he was talking about when he told me to go take a nap. A very long 12-hour nap.
Clearly you haven't been taking care of yourself.
I've had other things on my mind.
Like what?
Recapturing beauty again. Things in the world are becoming ugly very, very quickly. That sunrise that you saw this morning, I would very much like to be able to see that again.
It sounds like you have something to fight for.
I didn't before. I do now.
Good. There are two things that two reasons I wanted you with me. First things first, I'm going to take a little sip of this potion I've just brewed, and I don't know what's going to happen, so it'd be really cool if you could just stick around and check that I don't die.
I'm afraid I'm not very well trained with any healing magic whatsoever. My abilities are very limited.
I've grown up drinking poison accidentally. I think I'll be okay. Besides, it'll only be a tiny sip. I just need to see if this does anything like it was supposed to.
Very well. I will watch.
Okay. And he's just gonna stick his tongue out and let a drop fall onto his tongue.
You let a drop fall into your tongue. It burns slightly, not ow, but it definitely tingles a bit.
Okay.
Sort of like you took a ghost pepper, which is one of the hottest peppers, and just kind of dabbed it on your tongue. It goes, oh yeah, that stings a little bit.
Okay.
I assume that wasn't supposed to happen?
Yeah, I think this potion's bust.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know what it's like to
That's
try to
okay.
get something perfected. I've always been a perfectionist myself.
Yeah, tell me about it.
And the reason
I wanted to.
Go ahead.
I want to be useful somehow. Yeah, I have these skills, and now is the time to be useful. I can't just sit on the sidelines and let Cedric save the day.
You confuse me. I don't understand why you don't consider yourself useful. I thought you've been a very key member to this group for quite some time, since the beginning.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just a perfectionist too. I don't want to let the group down. And if there's anything, any conceivable thing I can do that is the difference between the life or death of someone in this group, I have to make sure I do it.
You and I are very similar. I think that's why I spent so many days working on that mural. The reason why it took me so long is because the first few tries it wasn't right. I had to start over from the beginning a few times. I had to try my hardest to carry my weight around, and it sounds like you tried to do the same thing. I'm not a particularly good fighter. I can't heal. I can't throw as large fireballs like Andrea can. I'm just an artist.
You're a very good one. And
Thank you.
that rope that I was able to summon because of you, that saved lives.
You were the one who thought to use that ability in that way. My solution was not as fast. I was trying to paint something really quickly and ended up not being of use in that situation after all.
I hear it was of use later, though.
Yes, but to be fair, that wasn't its primary purpose in the first place.
No, I think there are many reasons that we fought so hard to keep you alive, and you are a valuable asset to this group. And I think all of us consider you a good friend.
Then I hope you believe when I say that the same thing to you, Theoben. You have been an incredibly valuable asset to this group, and I also consider you one of my very good friends.
It's nice to hear. As your friend, there's something we need to talk about. And it's something that I wanted to talk just to you about.
Really? What is it?
When we were at the Archon's estate, I found research that they had been doing to cure tranquility.
Hugh's face suddenly grows very white, and he steps back a little bit, almost because he's fearful of something. You found the cure.
Hugh, the reason I'm telling you is because out of anyone I've ever met, you know more about this. I'm not equipped to make this decision. You've been tranquil. You've wanted to stay tranquil. You know more than any of us. I don't know what to do with this. I can destroy it. And I will do so with nobody outside this room knowing. If that's what you think is best. It's not up for debate by people that haven't been there.
I've had a taste of what tranquility is like, though I don't know how different it is from becoming tranquil the way that the circle does it. At the time, I was content. Now that I've been there and back, I don't know if I necessarily would want to go all the way back to becoming tranquil again. But I'm not sure if I necessarily would want to be cured fully either. I actually like where I am right now. Sort of a halfway point between tranquility and non-tranquility. I can appreciate people. I can appreciate beauty in the world. And I don't want to lose that. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll find love. I don't know.
Who says that you wouldn't have that if you were fully untranquil? What would be the difference?
I'm not sure. I guess part of me is afraid. I'm not sure what to do about what'll happen.
If you don't paint, you don't hurt people, right?
I remember what I was like before I became a tranquil. I don't know if I necessarily want to go all the way back to that either. I like how I am right now. I guess I'm afraid if I cure myself completely, I'll lose that part that I like.
Makes sense.
That being said,
You're caught in
while I don't think that this is something that we should share to the world, I also don't feel that it would be wise to destroy it completely. I think that some people could benefit from it, but I fear what the consequences would be if we were to start to cure other people.
That's what I'm afraid of too. I don't know much about tranquility, and that's why it didn't feel like my call to make, but what I do know is that it is very dangerous.
If you had asked me before, when I was fully tranquil, I would have told you that the logical thing to do would be to destroy it. Now that you're asking me this now, it pains me to think of destroying such a thing completely.
Is there anyone that you would trust this information with?
You? Cedric? Those are the first two that pop into my head.
It means a lot. But not the circles, not the Templars, not the Chantry.
No. You, Cedric. Just those two.
Okay. Thank you, Hugh. It's invaluable to get your insight on this.
Thank you for telling me. What are you going to do with it now?
I'm going to go talk to Cedric.
Okay.
And Hugh, I'm glad you're happy where you are now.
Thank you. I am. Very much. It's better than content.
Yeah. We'll do the whole hugging thing.
You've loved before, right, Theoben?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
Do you feel that you can again?
Oh, that's a good question. Where's this come from?
I was just curious. I don't think I've ever fully fallen in love before. That's all the reason I asked.
Okay. I think that love isn't something that you try to find. I think it's something that finds you. I think that when you know, you just feel this pull towards a person. It's not really anything you can explain. It's not really anything you can force. I think when it happens, you'll know. And I don't believe that losing love once means you can never find it again.
Like I said, as an artist, I always seek out beauty in the world, the most beautiful things I can find. I've been told that love is the most beautiful thing that you can find. That is an artist's ultimate goal. At least for me,
Maybe,
perhaps.
maybe, should we all survive this and make it out? Maybe you should put yourself out there and try to find it.
Only if you promise not to show any diagrams.
Alright, fine. You know, you're gonna regret that. Diagrams, they helped.
Save them for Owlette. I think he needs them more. Actually, save them for Owlette and the rest of those trees. I heard that they are still new to all of that.
Well, they already have the wood, I suppose. Yeah. Okay. Deal. You, as I say, I don't think that it's something you should force, but put yourself out there and maybe one day it'll happen here. I want that to happen for you.
Thank you. He'll give you a smile. And he will leave.
Okay. I guess. At this point, Andrea and Palisera are coming back, so.
Okay, so you can talk to Cedric afterwards if you want to.
Yes.
However.
Is Kenna want to talk to anyone before we go into the war room, or are you good?
No, she was just chilling with Connor, and she was on her staff. There's the names of all the previous Thanes, and then like what they were most known for, like strength, courage, and she would have had Connor in a variant carve her name into the staff, and then next to it put hope.
Aww.
Connor, well, while you're hanging out, Connor says, I don't know how much weight you would actually put this, but I prayed to the Maker every single day that I'd see you again.
Oh. I prayed to mine too. I guess they work together.
I'd like to think so.
I don't see why not.
Well, we've survived, both you and I, both up to this point. Who's to say that this is, not just another big quest once again?
Are you
Nothing special?
Are you sure you want to come on this one, Connor?
I'm not letting you go out there without me.
I'm just worried about you.
Yeah, I know, and I know Cedric's gonna be nagging at me the entire time. Connor, don't throw your life away. When I give you the signal, run away. Maybe we should set myself up with you and I farther away from Cedric. What? What? I can't hear you. What?
Well,
Ever vigilant, Connor. Ever vigilant.
Cedric like kind of sneaks.
Sort of like real creepily.
He like creepily, like he was hiding behind a box because that's what he does.
Yeah,
He's
just
hiding behind a box. Ever vigilant. And then Connor's looking around and is like, "Who said that?"
Oh shit.
judging you.
I tell you, he's more present than the Maker himself is.
He's gonna wake up one night, ever vigilant. Oh.
All right.
Well, yeah, of course I'm coming.
Okay. I didn't think I could talk you out of it, but I thought I'd try at least.
Hey, I survived the Archon, didn't I?
I'm not saying you couldn't. I'm just saying I don't want anything to happen to you.
And may I point out that if I wasn't there on the last mission, Andrea and Theobin, they would have, well...
I saw.
It would have been messy.
I saw. I definitely saw you pulling the rope. It was lovely. I just... In seriousness, I don't want anything to happen to you. But you're right.
We can't think about that. We can't think about that. I don't like the idea of you putting yourself out there either, but I mean,
Right.
It's more than just you being chosen. You're important. You're the Thane of your people now. You kind of have to... You know how Rovas said that she didn't want to just bow to you just because you inherited from your mom? Well, You're proving it now. You're showing that you're earning that title. It's something you have to do, and of course I'm gonna support you for that. Why wouldn't I?
Oh, Connor. Thank you. Thank you for believing in me.
I always have. Thank you for... I don't know. Thank you for doing the same thing for me.
Well, you made it easy. She'll give him a kiss on the cheek. We better go back. Join up with everyone else.
All right, let's go. He'll stand up and he'll take your hand as you walk to the mural room, the war room. Okay. So you guys are back in the war room. Violetta is there, and she and Hugh will greet you, and she will say, "So I've been talking with Hugh, and I think we might have come up with a way for us to do a little bit of spying.
Okay.
We're only going to keep him there for as long as we think is necessary, and I'll try to get as much information as we can. Again, no promises that we won't be caught, but I feel like this is going to be better than going in completely blind."
Okay. I'll call on my spirit if we're going to do that. Just to see. I don't even know if it'll help, but we can try.
Okay.
So.
Go ahead.
Something just occurred to me. I don't know if it changes anything, but I forgot to add my +2 to my potion roll. Is a 17 still not enough?
No, 17 I think will be enough for it to do something, to make it harder for them to spot. So yes, I think it'll do something.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Hallisette.
Okay.
Nice.
24. I call on my spirit.
Your spirit will emerge, and you want the spirit to try to distract.
Yes.
Yes.
Keep the eyes somewhere other than on Violetta and Hugh.
You can sense her respond in a way that means she will definitely do her best.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
And you will feel her presence leave.
And I'll take the eye out, and it's which person needs to be holding it?
Technically, because it's Hugh physically looking through it, you should give it to him. Okay. I am going to be acting through him.
Okay.
He will be able to see see through the eye but won't be able to translate anything, I'm the one that's going to be translating it on the receiving end, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Hugh is going to be my looking glass, I guess.
Okay. Here you go, Hugh.
Thanks. All right.
Halaser will... she will come up to them before they start. And just silently hug them each. And I don't know if it will work like this, but you're the GM, so you tell me. She wants to give them her chanter blessing, but the silence right now kind of feels really important to her. So can I still give that blessing?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
So they get a 1d4?
Yes.
And Hugh will get the potion that Theo made.
Great.
All right, which means this is Violetta's eye roll. Her eye roll. I love that. 30. Beautiful.
Whoa!
Now we're gonna see Hugh's stealth.
Stunt.
We'll go with Hugh's stealth, which is not horrible, but it's not amazing either.
Does it get pluses with whatever?
Yes. So we'll add a plus 1 to that. So 15, which isn't horrible. That's good. That adds a +1 to his stealth. Okay, Violetta has a strand of Hugh's hair, and she puts it onto her voodoo doll. She begins to pass her arms through it, and again, everything around the room starts to dim a little bit, and Hugh starts to glow with violet energy. You start to smell chamomile. We'll say it's like the smell of chamomile and mint. Pretty soothing. Chamomile and mint filling in the air. And Hugh goes over to the painting, and he places his hand over the area where there is the necropolis. He has the eye up to his eye, and Violetta is right behind him, and you can see this mystical energy start to. It's like a two-way stream between the two of them. Hugh kind of stands up straight as if he just got hit by like static electricity throughout his body, and he goes into some sort of a trance. And then he again puts the eye over his eyes. Violetta's eyes grow violet, and her voodoo doll continues to glow. And there's quiet for the next, I'll say, 3 minutes. And then after about 3 minutes, Hugh for like a 2 seconds spazzes for a bit, and then he shakes himself as if he just gained control of his body again. And everything in the room brightens, all of the mist goes away, and then the scent starts to dissipate. It is done, Violetta says. And I have to say, we've got our work cut out for ourselves, boys and girls. So, I have some good news and bad news. What do you want me to start with first?
Bad.
Yep.
The bad news is your suggestion of going at this one at a time, unfortunately, is not going to work. This is the reason why. All five of these pedestals that your bracers are on, you were correct in saying that that is where your bracers currently are, and they are helping to power up this force field. They're all connected in a way such that if you were to try to deactivate, remove, mess with one, it immediately activates the others, and they will essentially nova on you on the spot. All five of them will nova on you. Even if you were to survive the first wave, I'm not sure if you'd be able to survive the subsequent waves. It is extremely powerful.
Interesting.
The best way that you could do it is if they were all deactivated / removed in unison at the same time.
Okay.
Otherwise, you risk a total party kill.
So essentially, we'd all have to be on a different platform trying to get our braces, fighting a revenant.
Or one of you can go after it while another person assisting you distracts the revenant. That's also.
We're gonna need the whole party for this one.
Ew.
We all can fit on the ship, Hugh says.
Sure.
At least the 6 of us, at least one of each of us can accompany you on each island. One of you, and I think technically one of you could have 2.
Andrea should have 2.
The other thing
it's
that
not
I have...
that I don't think you're capable, but I can see the look on your face.
Last revenant I came across kind of threw me off the world. I don't like this. How are we to? These are far apart. How are we to, know when to grab it? 'Cause if we mess up even a little, we're all dead. So.
Like I said, we have our work cut out for us. I have other information if you want to discuss this further. I have more information.
Always.
Once we are able to remove them from the pedestals, because you are the rightful owners of said bracers, you should be able to place them back onto your wrists. At that point, it will nullify the force field, and you should have control of them temporarily. I say temporarily because that does not protect you from having Mafaroth take them back from you all over again and send you back in the Fade. So, this is what we could do instead. Once the force field is down, we would have to somehow take Mafaroth temporarily out of commission, at least long enough for us to be able to remove the sphere or the orb from his possession, which, by the way, he seems to be keeping at his person at all times. I'm assuming that as soon as the force field goes down, he's going to take the orb out to try to suck you in. It will be at that moment, if timed correctly, we can freeze him, and one of you or someone can knock off the orb and capture it. That is one option. The other thing that I discovered is the rift itself and the orb. I got a glimpse of the properties of the orb itself. I wasn't able to keep a hold of the vision long enough, for I was risking being caught. But knowing what I discovered from the bracers and from the orb itself, it is possible to close up the rift again. Similarly, the way that the veil was created when the Fade was separated from the real world in the first place, way back when the Penta'Viv Guardians were first created. However, you will not be able to do it in the exact same way that the veil was created before. In other words, you cannot use the orb again to seal away the Fade. Instead, you will have to use one of the other sparks: fire, earth, air, water, or ether. One of those sparks can create a new veil. But there is a consequence for each one that you decide to use, because you are talking about the source of these elements in creation itself. If you decide to use one of those sparks to seal the Fade, it will affect the rest of the world. That particular element throughout Thedas will wane. But that is the cost of sealing the Fade. Otherwise, the Fade will be kept open, and it'll swallow up the entire Thedas, and the world will be destroyed anyway. So you will have to choose which element to seal the fade with. Which element can the world afford to have weaken?